#1 Business and Self-Development Podcast, Konnected Minds Podcast.
You know, the question I want to ask is, when did you wake up? Like, you know,
The start,
as in mentally.
to start doing business, I started when I was about 13. I wanted a pair of shoes called Maury's. It was like alligator shoes from Italy. And that time, I'm from New York, went to school in the Bronx and everything. And a lot of people was wearing, I'm like, I want that too. So I asked my dad and my mom, I was like, can I have a Maury's? And my dad was like, what do you mean? And then he's like, when I was younger, when I was your age, I didn't wear shoes until I was 16. Why should he buy me a pair of shoes that's $250? I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. So he wasn't gonna buy it for me. I remember like growing up, I had 3 pairs of shoes, one for basketball, one for church, one for school.
Well, that was it?
That was it. So I'm like, so the whole time, like, well, we don't have money or anything like that. But then, like a couple of months later on, I was going to school with 2 of my classmates, and it was a couple that were fighting. And the lady was like, I don't want your effing money. And she threw the money out the car. She was standing outside the car, and she threw the money. And that time it was snowing too. And then like all the cars stopped because this money flying over. So I ran across the street. Yeah. I picked some of the money up. Right there, that afternoon, after school was over, I bought a pair of Maury's. But I'm like, if I want to keep up with, I guess, the Joneses, or if you want to keep up with buying like nice shoes and nice things, I need to work. But that time I was 14. My parents was like, no, I can't work. I was like, you know what, let me try and do business. But at that time, I was using my computer as a gateway computer, and a pop-up came up. It was Aunt Jemima cookies. So that one, I was like, maybe I could try and bake. So for 6 months, like I asked my mom to help me. I was baking cookies, but I used to wrap it up in plastic, like one piece. I used to give it out to people in school for free. And then I would give them a small piece of paper, like you write notes, like what do you think about the cookie, the size, suggesting, is it buttery enough? Is it too much chocolate? Isn't there enough chocolate? Things like that. So that was when I was 14. So I was just doing that. And after that, like I did I guess I could say my market research or something.
Yeah. That's your proof of concept, basically.
And then people started liking it because I'm like, all right, cool, let's start baking. So then I used to bake 3 cookies for $1. Then afterwards, I'm like, you know what, let's shrink the cookies, make it small. Do 2 cookies for $1. Okay. So then I used to, every day, from, let's say, for 2 to 3 years, I was making $75 a day selling cookies.
Wow.
Profit.
But you see, at that level, though, you're like, there's your seed money, right?
Yeah.
There's your gross profit.
Yeah.
There's your net profit. Yeah. There's revenue. How did you understand all of that?
My seed money, because when I was going to school at that time, every day, my mom gave me $5 for school. So that $5, so every week is $25. So instead of using the $25, I saved the money. Then I used it, I saved 3 weeks of it. So I made $75. Then I bought flour, chocolate chip, butter, and all that stuff. So after that, then I started looking in the newspaper for coupons and stuff. So when it goes on sale, I used to buy a lot. Stock and keep it. That was just like later on. So when I first started, I just started $25.
Right.
$25 with the cookies, samples, things like that, yeah. And then even then, moving forward, later on, I used to do like birthday parties on the weekends too. So I used to bake more cookies on the weekends. So that was another income as well.